And we back with another one, man. This time okay, wait, first off, let me get it right. Let me get it right. If I hit y'all with the intro, voila. Voila. And we back with another one, man. Come on, man. We on our first off, I hate how this look. Let's feel all this in. And we back with our first reaction video, bro. Let's
Or
go.
that night, I might have survived the week alone.
Let's go.
I arrived at the cabin late in the afternoon. The sky was rumbling with dark clouds. My mother had just passed away, and I needed time away from everyone. The forest surrounding the cabin was vast and silent. The isolation was intense, but that's exactly why I chose this place. The sky was rumbling with dark clouds. That night, the storm hit. The wind howled, lashing at the trees and shaking the windows. The thunder cracks.
You ain't know that before? You ain't checked the weather app? Or you ain't checked the weather app before you left, bro? Bro was just like, man, I'm just finna go, man. Now that's crazy, bro. Now I ain't gonna lie to you, grieving will have you do that, bro. I ain't gonna lie, if you grieving, man, you just might go to a cabin on a stormy night, bro. You just might, bro.
So loudly I thought it might split the roof. Lying in bed with a heavy heart, memories of my mother raced through my mind. Suddenly, I heard a knock. At first, I thought it was just the tree branches, but soon the knocking changed into thudding. Someone was desperately hitting my door with their fists. A little nervous,
Nigga, is that your front door or your bedroom door? That matters. That matters. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. If they're banging at your bedroom door, bro, you too calm for me, bro. You, it gotta be the front door. It gotta be the front door. It gotta be.
swung
gotta
my
be the front
legs
door.
off the bed, my mind struggling to understand who could be at this hour. I thought I was the only one here. I opened the door and found a man, soaked to the bone. His hair was clinging to his forehead.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Look at that. You gotta be Nigga, you see something like that, and you just like, oh, I said, man, soak. Nigga, hey, that was me. First off, bro. We not checking no. First off, bro, we not opening no doors, bro. And then hey, look, we peeking through the blinds. We peeking through the blinds, bro. What the fuck? Hey, we gonna be like, who the fuck that is? We like, who that is? Who that is banging on my door? Or better yet, bro. We would. I would have just pretend like I didn't hear it. I'm telling you, I heard no knocking. I peeked through the door, and if all logic went out the window, bro, on that stormy night, and I would have opened it, if I would have saw that, I would have swung. I would have slammed the door. I would have swung on his ass. Bro, if you look like that, it's get or get got, bro. It's kill. If you look like that, bro, it's kill or be killed, bro. No good gonna come for this, bro.
Bloodstains on his shirt were so big that it didn't go unnoticed. He looked like he'd been through hell. Fumbling in fear, he said, "My wife, we crashed near the creek. She's hurt, unconscious. This was the only house with lights on." I didn't hesitate. Grabbing my raincoat and flashlight,
Yeah, he deserve it. He deserve it. First off, who the fuck sleeps with the lights on? You deserve it, bro, for being weird. You deserve it for being fucking weird, bro. Who sleeps with the lights on? All right, Paul. If they tell you some bullshit ass story, you just grab your raincoat and just go. Oh, you deserve it, bro. Yeah, you deserve it, bro.
Followed him into the night. We reached the wreckage just by the creek. The car skidded off the road and into a shallow ditch. Inside, a woman lay unconscious, blood oozing from her head. She wasn't moving. My chest tightened, and without a word, the man and I pulled her from the wreckage and carried her back to the cabin. I disinfected her wound, bandaged it as best as I could, and tucked her into my bed. The man changed into my dry clothes. With a storm raging outside, the cabin must have felt...
Why you still look fucking crazy, bro? Why he still look crazy, bro? He look like what the fuck? Oh my god, look at him. Look at him. He don't even know what the fuck he looking at, bro. And they just making and they wait. And they just making mad making mad eye contact, bro. Why they making so much fucking eye contact?
I poured us both a glass of wine, trying to ease the tension that hung in the air.
Yeah, nigga, what the fuck
I broke
is
the silence.
The fuck is it, a Tinder date, nigga? The fuck is it, a Tinder date?
How did the accident happen? The man took a sip, and then his story began. He said they were visiting her parents. The more he spoke, I started seeing inconsistencies in his story. His words seemed to drift, and his eyes flickered with confusion as if he couldn't remember.
The nigga eyes flicker with confusion? Them niggas falling out his eyeball. It says falling out his eye sockets, bro. The man says, he said his eyeballs are flickering with confusion, bro. Them hoes are falling out the socket, bro. Them hoes is hanging on for dear life. The skin on his face is hanging on for dear life, bro. He done poured that motherfucker a glass of Henny, bro.
Remember simple details.
You a freaky ass nigga, bro.
Traumatized by the accident, I thought. I need rest, he suddenly said, rising from his chair. He walked into the bedroom, leaving me alone in the living room. I felt a growing unease, but I tried to brush it off. I locked the front door and settled on the couch, hoping to get some sleep. I don't recall the exact time, but I felt hot breathe over my face. My eyes snapped open. A woman was standing over me. I realized it was the wife of that man. Her hair was still damp, clinging to her pale face, her eyes wide and unblinking. I nearly screamed, but she quickly pressed her hand over my mouth.
Please, don't scream.
She begged, her breath hot against my ear. I nodded.
Why you keep saying shorty breath hot? Why you keep saying that, bro? You like, man, shorty breath hot as fuck, bro. Why you keep saying that shit, bro? Like, what the fuck, bro? Why they your only concern right now?
Frozen with fear, asked, "Do you want me to call your husband? Are you feeling okay?" She leaned in close, her voice shaking as she spoke.
He's not my husband.
No shocker there. No shocker there, bro, unless he got mad money, bro. Unless he's funny and got mad money, bro. I'm telling you, bro, like, bro, why would you think an individual that look like that will attract the opposite sex, bro? Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Niggas like him, bro. They ain't got no awareness, bro.
I stared at her in disbelief, my heart pounding.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap, bro. There's no way you looked at him, bro, and you in disbelief that that's not his wife. Come on, bro. Stop the cap, bro.
In my chest. What?
Call the cops.
She muttered in a shaken voice. I grabbed my phone, but there was no signal. The storm must have knocked out the tower. Panic bubbled up in me. We need to get to the police station, I whispered.
He has a knife.
She murmured. I nodded grimly, realizing the nightmare. My car keys were in the bedroom with the man. With my heart in my throat, I cracked open the bedroom door, my pulse hammering in my ears. The man was asleep, his breathing slow and steady. His damp clothes were scattered around the room, and there, on the nightstand, were the keys, gleaming faintly in the dim light. I took a deep breath and stepped inside.
You know what I would have did? You know what I would have did if I was in that situation, right? If I was really in that situation, right? I would have opened the front door. I would have took that wine bottle, right? I would have took the wine bottle, right? Open the front door, right? The first sound of lightning crackling or thunder, right? I would have broke the bottle on cue, right? Made like a little bottom knife, right? I would have opened that door, creaked right, and I would have rushed his ass. I would have rushed Buddy, bro. As he sleep like that, I would have creaked open and rushed his ass. And we out of that situation. And we out of it, bro. You know what I hate about scary movies, right? Scary movies and shit like this, right? Bro, the best way to survive, if you're getting chased by a regular human, if a regular human is the problem, the best way to survive, bro, is unalive them. Don't try to escape, bro. Don't try to escape. Don't try to run, bro. Bro, it's fight or fight, bro. Not fight or flight. Fight or fight. You feel me? But that's how you make it out of those situations, bro. All that running for your life, bro. All that cowering, all that tiptoeing. But I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Could not be me, bro. Could not be me, bro. First off, he wouldn't even be in my bed. You feel me? The moment he would have said, man, I need rest, he would have got up, and he made himself, and he was walking towards my little bed, I would have checked his ass in, bro. I would have checked his ass, like, hey, bro, where the fuck you going, bro? But in that particular situation right there, broken bottle, weapon out of it, through that door, rushed his ass, and we home, sweet home, Alabama. We gone. We out of it. We cleared that. We cleared that. But watch how that shit finna go. His scary ass finna try to tiptoe. And watch this. I know how they gonna go. Watch this. I know how they gonna go.
Every
Watch it.
footfall a potential alarm. The floor creaked beneath my feet. I froze. The man shifted in his sleep, groaning softly. But thankfully, he didn't wake.
Bro, you're not finna prop your ass up on my bed like that, bro. I don't care if it is an Airbnb. If I paid for it, it's my bed, bro. You're not finna throw your shit back on my bed, bro. Yeah, bro. I would have got Buddy the fuck up out of there, bro.
I held my breath as I tiptoed toward the nightstand, my hand shaking as I reached for the keys. Suddenly, the man rolled over, and my heart nearly stopped. I ducked.
They got a dick in his fucking throat. Fuck, freaky man. What the fuck? Who drew that, bro? You didn't have to draw a dick in this nigga throat, bro.
My entire body tense, my hand clenching the keys. The man exhaled sharply, but mercifully, he didn't wake. I crept backward, every muscle screaming, and shut the door behind me with a soft click. I grabbed the woman's hand, and together we bolted for the front door. I unlocked it, and we ran blindly into the storm, sprinting for the car. The drive was a blur. The rain lashed at the windshield, and the wipers struggled to keep up with the downpour. The woman sobbed quietly beside me, her breath hitching in the darkness. I didn't stop until I saw the flickering lights of the county police station. The officers took her statement. One of them made a call for backup, and they raced to the cabin. But the man was gone. No sign of him anywhere. No struggle, just the woman's blood, dried on my bed sheets, and a broken wine glass. The next morning, an officer sat me down. "He's a known stalker, Robert Walsh," the officer said. "Escaped custody 2 weeks ago. You're lucky to be alive." The woman thanked me, and her family thought I did some heroic deed that night. But honestly, I did what a sensible human being would have done. I pray to God every single day that the man gets caught.
I ain't gonna lie, animated dude. Dude that's animated. I ain't gonna lie to you. Anything, every and anything that he do moving forward is on you, bro. It's on your head, bro. It's on you, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That's crazy, bro. It's on you, bro. You could have stopped it, bro. You could have put an end to the madness, bro.
As a solo hiker, I finished the last mile with a sort of breathless excitement. The trail wound up through the trees, opening at the top into a desolate, beautiful quiet. The wind, the needle of the pines, and the long drop past the cliff edge made me choose the spot at my campsite. I was at the perfect place to witness the full sunrise next morning. By the time the sun dropped behind the distant ridge, I was done setting my tent and starting a fire. Sharpening a sturdy twig with my knife, I started roasting my steak on the fire. The sky above me soon got filled with billions of stars. I had a great time for next 4 hours straight. Around 10:30 p.m., I zipped myself into my sleeping bag, imagining the dreamy sunrise I'm about to witness.
Why will you constrain yourself? Why will you constrain yourself, bro? What about, hey man, let me put myself in a fucking coffin damn near, a straight jacket, while I'm alone in the woods, bro, makes sense to you, bro. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. These folks some idiots, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. So far, we don't got no smart protagonists, bro.
In some hours. I fell asleep. At exactly 2:36 a.m., I woke up, but not because of the sunrise. There were voices outside. Then, I heard slow, deliberate footsteps followed by dragging sound. It's getting heavier with each step. We should have buried it down somewhere.
Shut up. You always take the easy way out.
I didn't move, or even...
With voices like that, I can only assume they're the antagonists, bro. With voices like that, gotta be the bad guys,
breathe.
Bro.
My heart
gotta be the
started
bad guys,
hammering in
bro.
my chest, louder than their steps.
Gotta be.
I slid forward, inch by inch, until I could peek through the half-zipped gap on my tent. 2 people were out there, a man and a woman. They must be in their mid-30s or so. They were dragging something heavy, like a duffel bag.
We're almost close to the edge.
The woman whispered. Careful now. The man answered, low and quiet. Spinal cord's already shattered. One good toss and he's gone. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Only one clear thought kept rising in my head. Are they dumping a body? They suddenly stopped. The woman looked up and scanned the trees. Her eyes seemed to linger. She said,
You sure we're alone?
The man cocked his head to the side, almost lazily. Thought I'd heard something. I flinched back into the tent like a reflex, hands over my mouth. I froze there, skin crawling, heart thudding so loud it felt like they'd hear it. The air felt thicker suddenly, dense, wrong. A twig snapped outside, closer than before. I prayed to God that the couple didn't see my tent. After a slight pause, the dragging sound began once again, and I felt my blood flowing again. I peeked again from the gap and saw the couple facing their back at me. Taking this opportunity, I slowly crawled out and quickly moved behind a boulder. Even though my tent was behind a tree, I knew it's not safe anymore to stay inside. From there, I watched them move to the cliff's edge, lifting the bag together. They didn't hesitate for a second, just heaved and let it fall. A wet thud echoed in the valley. It probably fell into the river, and once again, silence prevailed. The man and the woman looked down like little kids throwing rocks at a stream. Then they looked at each other. In that glistening moonlight, I watched them smile. Then, as if he'd felt me watching, he turned to the boulder and our eyes locked for a fraction of seconds. I know you're watching us, he said, calm and casual. I didn't wait. My legs moved before my mind caught up, and I started to run. I bolted uphill, pushing through the trees.
God damn how fast they is!
Hard. Branches scraped my arms and face, but I didn't stop. Behind me, flashlights blinked on, cutting through the dark. The woman's voice came after me.
Wait, it's not what you think. We've a lot of money. Just talk to us. Stop!
I didn't look back. I cut left into thicker trees, hoping to lose them in terrain that they didn't know. But deep down, I knew that they knew these woods way better than me. I suddenly tripped and went down hard, mud in my mouth, knees torn apart, but I got up again. I'm not letting these killers dump a second body down
Yes,
that
sir! Lock in!
Kept pushing.
Lock in!
Suddenly, a branch cracked to my right. I realized she
Damn,
was
she
circling
buff.
me. They were splitting up and hurting me. I doubled back, heading for the ridge trail that wound toward the lot where I'd left my car hours earlier. That trail felt like my only shot. Then, something hit me. I felt a hot, sharp sting in my thigh. A rock maybe, or a knife. I gasping, but didn't cry. I quickly rolled into a shallow ditch, pressed my body flat against the ground so they can't see me. Echoes of aimless footsteps passed inches above me.
How could you let him go?
The woman growled. The man's voice stayed even. I don't think he saw our face clearly. Let's leave. I heard them move on, fast and silent like predators. When I got sure that they're gone, I crawled out of the ditch and limped downhill. By the time I saw the dirt road through the thinning trees, the sky had shifted from black to pale yellow. What a magnificent sunrise, I uttered in my head. My car sat like a lifeline in the distance, faint in the growing light. I didn't hesitate and I ran, limping, stumbling, gasping for breath, but I ran. Every time I looked back, I feared to see the murderous couple chasing me, but they weren't there anymore. I took my keys out, which I luckily took with me before leaving the tent. Fumbling,
Come on, you
cursing,
bullshit, bro!
I jammed the first key into the lock, flung open the door, and fell into the driver's seat. I kept clicking to start the car when suddenly a face slammed into the passenger window. It was a man. His eyes were wide and wild, blood on his hands, a knife gleaming in one of them. He didn't yell or rage. He just smiled and said something inaudible. I shoved the key in the ignition and turned with a force. Finally, the car roared. The engine caught, tires spun, and gravel flew. I didn't even check the mirrors as I sped, but as I hit the bend, I caught one last look. They were standing in the dust, both of them, not.
They some sorry ass serial killers, bro. They some sorry ass fucking serial killer, bro. You ain't cut the tires, bro. Not, I ain't gonna lie to you, the protagonist was ass at first, but he locked in. He locked in. Y'all ass. Your assets are dropped. You might as well turn over a new leaf. You might as well turn over a new leaf, bro. This ain't for you, bro. Evil is not for everybody, bro. I know y'all gonna get caught, bro. That man really sat there.
Chasing
That
or
shit dumb.
waving. They were just standing and watching. I didn't stop driving until I reached the ranger station, maybe an hour later, maybe more. I don't remember, as I could barely talk when I stumbled in, blood down my leg, and my face scratched raw. But I told them everything, every word. When they made it back to the cliff, there was nothing at all. No bodies or blood, just my brand new tent, slashed with knife, boot prints, and long, bloody drag marks toward the edge was found. I gave my full report and stayed for hours answering questions. Till today, there's no missing persons, no arrests, and no follow-ups.
Damn, bro, the villain's
The
like
bus
2
screeched
for 1.
to a halt
2 for,
in the
2 for
middle
0.
of nowhere. The brakes wheezed like a dying animal. I stepped out into the cool mountain air, took it in, and instantly felt eyes on me. Milena and Goran Kara free brunches, but soon a knife. As I looked back, I feared to report and stayed for hours, with smiles a little too wide.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I would. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would have ended my. Why is he buff as fuck? Yeah, Shorty buff as a bitch. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Ain't nothing you can do in that situation, bro. There's nothing you can do about this right here, bro. Let me show you, bro. There's nothing. Look at her face. Look at her face, bro. You can tell she didn't know what the fuck she was getting herself into, bro. Come on, bro. What it look like? Let me show you what she got herself into. That. There's absolutely nothing you can do about this, bro. There's nothing you can do about it, bro. Shorty like she can lift 450, bro. Like she bench press 450, bro. That boy like he down for whatever. Shorty look like she wish you would run. See what she wants you to run. She wants you to fight back and run. See the type of motherfucker that open like your captive cage, right? And lets you run out. Just so she can get your ass, bro. Personally, bro. Yeah, bro. It's over with, bro. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's over with, bro. Yeah, bro.
And Goran Karovic were standing a little too still, with smiles a little too wide. A lean, pale girl who looked like she has just recovered from prolonged sickness stood beside them. Her vacant, dark eyes kept scanning me.
Welcome, Amira. We are Mr. and Mrs. Karovic. And this is our daughter, Anna.
Her voice thick with an accent that wrapped around my name like fog.
Hope you have a nice time here.
I thought it said, I hope you got a knife.
Cold. The wood of its bones creaked beneath my feet. I noted there were no mirrors on the walls, no clocks, only the sense of herbs and of something decaying, lurking underneath like meat left to rot on the counter. Dinner was awkward and heavy, the kind of food that sits in your stomach like a boulder. Mr. Karovic kept tapping his fingers the entire time we ate. It was making me annoyed, but I had to pretend with a smile. Milena pressed a cup of tea into my hands after dinner.
You sleep now.
You drink that, you're a dummy. You're a certified dummy. If you drink a random glass of tea from a motherfucker that look like this, you're a dummy. You deserve everything that's coming to you times 10. This natural, at this point, it's natural selection, bro. Natural selection, bro. That's what we're gonna chop it down to, bro.
Tomorrow we show you the village.
I didn't want to drink it, but I promised myself I'll let go of my worries and enjoy my first solo eye trip. I was dead asleep when sounds of hushed voices woke me up. At first, I thought I was dreaming, but then the words took shape, something low, guttural, rising and falling like a chant. I tiptoed to my door and crouched down to look out from the keyhole. The hallway was dark, except for some candlelight, and in that light, I saw them, Milena and Goran, circling Anna, forcing something into her mouth and chanting. They were chanting in that creepy language, and it made my skin crawl. I must have coughed or made a noise, because they stopped and turned towards my door. But I held my breath until my lungs burned, and eventually, after many agonizing seconds, the chanting began again. Next morning, everything felt back normal again. Milena hummed while frying bread in pork fat, acting like nothing had happened. They even took me to a tour of the village, but it turned out to be quite disappointing to me. The empty streets, shutters pulled down on almost every window, no kids playing on the streets, made me even more doubtful. Did I choose the wrong host? Back in my room, I began looking for answers. I examined the space around me, trying to find proof of travelers before me who had stopped to stay with the Karovics. One drawer in the nightstand was stuck, and after a few moments of struggling with it, I finally managed to pull it out hard enough to pop it free. Inside was a stack of the same student-like photos of people like me, smiling faces beaming from a time when the world didn't look down on them with their fears of the future or obligations. As I flipped the stack, the pictures kept getting worse and worse, with their features becoming washed out like wet paint smeared over canvas. When I reached the last photo,
Hey,
Milena, grinning, her
what's
eyes
going on?
black as pitch, and written below, "She carries us all." My hands shook, and I realized something's very wrong going on here.
Nah, that shit not funny.
That night, I spoke to Mr. Karovic.
A few responsibilities came Hence, I have to leave early.
while forcing a smile. His
Bro,
grin
I would've.
widened. Sure, he said, slippery like his voice. Maybe you should go to bed early, to wake up early. After a long...
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you take his advice? How you think they gonna play out for you, bro? Why are you telling you? Why do you not just run away? Why you just flee for your life, bro? Why you tell them, hey, I plan on leaving early, and they tell you, oh, for real? You finna leave early? I ain't go to bed early. And yeah, call it a night early. So you wake up early, and you went and did that shit. A natural selection, bro.
Out of struggle, I finally fell asleep at around 1 a.m.
For her
that
life.
night. In my
She
sleep,
should run for her
I dreamt
life.
of Anna standing over my bed and her eyes glowing in the dark. I woke up choking, my sheets damp and covered in small, muddy handprints. I grabbed my phone, flipping the camera to face me, but the screen glitched. In the picture, my reflection stared back, but half my face was wrong. A second mouth stretched beside mine, another eye blinking just above my cheekbone. I dropped the phone with a gasp, but when I looked again, the image was gone, but I knew what I'd seen. Suddenly, a sound of chanting came again, this time louder, pulling me like a fish on a hook. I followed, creeping through the house and out into the cold. Behind the barn, torches burned in a stone circle, the villagers standing silent and watching. Anna stood in the center, her body limp and her eyes empty. Just then, Milena addressed the villagers, pointing at me.
Her youth is strong.
She murmured.
But why in the fuck? Wait, why? What possessed you to, okay, you seen what's going on behind the barn, right? What possessed you to walk up and stand right beside their ass? Why would you stand right beside them? Yeah, natural selection, bro.
Stepping forward.
She can carry two. Bring her.
Hands grabbed me.
Now don't
dragging
fight,
me
nah,
into the
now
circle
don't
where
fight back now.
Gordon smeared ash and crushed bone on my forehead. His breath hot in my ear said, "One gives, one takes, one stays." The world tilted. My limbs turned to lead and my vision doubled. Anna's face swam in front of me. And then I felt her inside me. A second heartbeat, a whisper in my skull that said,
Let go.
but then I saw Anna's tears. They were real, terrified. I knew she didn't want this. I lunged, knocking over the bowl of fire. The embers exploded, screams tearing through the night. I ran, branches clawing at my skin, their howls chasing me.
You must carry us. We are nothing without you.
Milena shrieked. That's when I finally saw some headlights cut through the trees.
Amazon?
A postal van.
Amazon
I
truck?
stumbled into the road, my ankles screaming, my breath ragged. The driver
Y'all, I watch a lot of horror movies, bro. Believe me, bro, if you ever running for your life, and you just stumble across a random van or a random vehicle, bro, keep running, bro. 9 out of 10, it's their cousin or somebody that's with them, bro. And they finna take your ass right back to where you running from, bro. Watch this, bro. I bet. Watch this.
The driver's eyes bulged
Watch
as
this.
I collapsed against his door. I sobbed.
Help me. Please.
I woke up at the hospital 2 days later. The police took my statement, but their faces said that they didn't believe me. When they came back from the village, they shrugged.
No one by that name lives here.
They said,
The Karviks moved away years ago.
but I know what I saw.
Oh, she made
And
it.
when I checked my phone, one lost photo had survived. A blurry selfie. My face half melted into Anna's. Now, when I look in the mirror too long, something looks back.
I have had too many cocktails with my friends tonight. When my vision
Wait,
started
hold
to
on,
blur...
hold on. how do I feel about the first three? Yeah, I'm gonna need some smarter protagonists, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm gonna need some smarter protagonists. I'm gonna need some smarter protagonists, bro. But I want to hear an actual horror story though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm in the mood for an actual story, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to hear. I just want to hear a story, bro.